Welcome to School of Honor. My name is Dinesh. Well, today we're going to discuss about a basic application, maybe the first applications that you're going to build on SAP UI5. This is for the very beginners of UI5. Make sure that you already have knowledge of the JavaScript jQuery and HTML5. Well, then you switch the perspective, Java EE perspective, create a new project. That's SAP UI5 Application project. Well, SAP UI Commons is the library that contains all the required things for desktop, and SAP M is meant for the mobile friendly components. And create initial view. I'm going to create a JavaScript view. Well, this follows the MVC concept, the model view controller concept. Well, there is no model right now. We'll simply create an application without a model, just a static application, without any backend database as such. So model is the JSON model or the XML model, you can say. So JSON or XML. So well, these are the very easy to use models. We'll discuss about them later. So you just need to observe few things here. So this is the main page, and you have the views. You can build any number of views, and these views can be called within this particular HTML page. So if you look at this, you have SAP UI view. Well, this view, the ZDJS view, is the view that we have created. So we are basically calling that view here and placing in the content. You can actually place any number of views in the content and call them as required. Well, this controller has certain events, and these events are triggered on init before rendering. After rendering, we'll discuss about this controller later. So within this view, you can actually place anything. I mean, at present, this view is returning a page. Okay, so if let me just delete this. So you can return anything from here. For example, if you want to return a button, let's say return new SAP M. SAP M stands for this SAP mobile friendly button. If you use the SAP UI Commons button, it's going to be desktop friendly button. I'll show you the difference between both SAP M button and see. Well, you have the help here. So if you don't get this window, you can simply press Control space so that you can easily get that information. Give some ID, and that's optional, so you need not to worry about that. So you have button text. Let's say press me, and that's all. So you have a button ready. So you can simply see the output of this view. Right click and then run as web preview. Well, in the meantime, we'll see an important web page, that is SAP UI5 SDK, the very first website that you get. It's a very useful website, so you can actually find the reference of each and every API. So you can simply go to the API reference and say SAP UI.SAP m.button. So if you don't know what are the properties available for this button, so I use the text property. If you observe here, well, this is the output of the view. See, when you observe this, you have the view here. So in the view, whatever I place, whatever this view returns will be placed in the page. It's very simple. You can place see, a function cannot return more than one, so we're going to return a page and we're going to add content within the page. Well, that is the idea. Okay, so for now, so you just return a button. Now let's say assume that I'm going to return a page, return new SAP M page. Okay, so the P capital, so that the moment I press control space, I got the help automatically. So ID of the page is not mandatory, so you can give a title of the page. So let's say my first page, and that's all. So save it and refresh it, and now this will return a page. Now within this page you can add any content. See, earlier we were returning a button. Now in this time I returned a page. Now I can return anything basically. Now the reason for returning a page is I can add so much of content within the page. So let's say I'm going to add some content here. So the square brackets indicate it's an array. So you can actually separate the components by commas. So let's say new SAP M dot button, and the same thing. Let's say you can simply copy paste this one. Well, this is an array, so you should not end this with a semicolon. So within the array there is only one. So if I want to add more, new SAP dot M dot text, let's say, so you can put some text here within this. Again, if you don't know what are the options available, so you can simply do the control space, or otherwise you can go to the website that I mentioned over here. So you can type in SAP M dot text and find out the properties of this text. So simply click on this, you have text here. Now say you have text is hello world. Okay, so these two are separated by commas. So this is component 1 and this is component 2 within the page. Right, so simply save it, go here, refresh it. So you have the button as well as the text here. Let's just assume that I want to change this text on press of a button, so I can use the jQuery. Well, to capture the event of the button, I simply go back here for the reference. Let's say I go here and I type button, and within there I have the event press. Okay, so I can write a event listener function within this. So I have a press event, so I'm going to trigger that event over here. Now text, and then I'm going to capture the event press. See, just to check if press is working, so function, and you can write anything inside this. Let's say I'm going to do an alert, say hello, I'm working. Now simply go back here, refresh it, press this. Now this, to make sure that this button is working. Well, the aim is to change this text on press of this button. So let's do this. Let's say I'm going to comment this, comment a single line, so it is /, and then let's say I'm going to get the ID of the text. Maybe let's say the ID of the text is ztxt. Right, so just an identifier of each and every component. You can refer to the JavaScript for that, or HTML5. Now I'm going to do a jQuery to change the text. So let's say #z text, and in that you have generally text is, say, so the text may be changed. Let's say go back here, refresh it, press it, the wall is changed. Well, it's just a basic tutorial. We'll see many more how to navigate between the pages and arrange these components in a proper way. For that we're going to use the layouts and stuff like that. So we'll discuss that in the next tutorial.